Well, here at Trinity, before we get into the sermon, we have what's called a Worldview segment for those of you that are with us for the very first time or watching online for the very first time. And the reason we have a Worldview segment is we believe here at Trinity, we exist as a spiritual intersection where moral, cultural, social, political, and economic issues collide with biblical truth. And we base this on a verse of scripture out of the Old Testament. I love this verse. 1 Chronicles 12:32, it says, the sons of Issachar had wisdom regarding the times in which they lived, and they knew what they should do. So we believe that Christians living today should be able to discern the times for two reasons. You need to be informed so you could know how to pray. So that number two, you can be empowered to act. You can be empowered to do something. In Acts chapter 2, verse 40, Peter said, we're to save ourselves from this wicked, twisted, perverse generation. And not only are we to save ourselves, we are to save others. And as times get tougher, our sermons can't keep getting weaker. And I want to talk about the dysfunction in our universities here in the United States of America. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 13 says, always remember what you've been taught and don't let go of it. Keep all that you have learned. It is the most important thing in your life. Unless you're educated in universities today, you might have to forget a lot what they are teaching you today. Regrettably, America, at one time, we were the most prominent research universities in the world, in all of North America, and we were the global leader in innovation, freedom, wealth, and happiness. But a shift recently has occurred. And higher education, the system itself, is now grappling with a crisis of trust and relevance within the American population. Take, for example, these alarming developments in the decline in America's trust in higher education. A Gallup poll from July of last year revealed that only 36% of adults expressed a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in higher education, a significant drop from 57% just in 2015. Gallup's data shows that in 2015, 68% of Democrats had confidence in colleges, but this figure fell to 59% in the current year. In contrast, Republican confidence, which was over half, has sharply declined to just 19%. Peter Boghossian, who was an ex-professor at Portland State University, he commented and said this, I am very surprised it's as high as 19%. If those individuals were fully aware of the current state of higher education, the figure would be 0%. Now, what is happening? Largely, this decline of what's happening in universities across our country is the result, get this, of the hiring process. The old saying, garbage in, garbage out. When you predominantly hire staff and faculty who share a same worldview that is anti-God, anti-American, what do you expect the product of that educational experience will be for our young people? So the once esteemed universities in our land have increasingly aligned themselves with a social justice ideology, which is basically Karl Marx, Marxism. And many universities really have become re-education centers. A recent report in Washington Times highlighted that only 10% of small business owners, only 10%, surveyed by Red Balloon and Public Square favored candidates with college degrees. This trend is particularly notable in the tech sector, where there is a persistent belief that a 4-year degree guarantees a higher salary and flexible hours. However, in the Red Balloon survey, 2/3 of 905 small business owners indicated that graduates today lack the relevant skills needed for their companies. And this trend isn't limited to small business. Get this, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, stated that Apple now hires individuals both with and without degrees. Similarly, Walmart has announced the removal of 4-year degree requirements for corporate positions, further highlighting the growing disconnect between higher education and industry needs. They are part of an expanding group of companies including Google, IBM, Bank of America, Delta Airlines that are moving away from requiring college degrees. And similarly, various states are also reevaluating the necessity of college degrees for certain jobs. And furthermore, a Gallup survey revealed that a significant disconnect between education and workforce readiness. Only 11% of business leaders believe college graduates are well prepared for the workforce. So, what should we be on the lookout for? First of all, if you're in higher education and you are a Christian, you are a missionary. You are a light in a very dark place. You need to continue to be as wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove, as Jesus said, to use your influence to the extent that God has given you that influence to help shape the dialogue and the debate necessary to make a shift and to turn back to educating and preparing young people to meet the challenges of a global economy. Also, you need to know that the federal student loan program is going to be overhauled. It's going to be substituted with a system that provides greater value actually for the economy. People that go to school for 4 years and get student loans, it might take them the next 20, 30 years to pay off those student loans. The system is broken and needs to be fixed. Second of all, the alignment of what employers need and kids that are graduating from college, there is a severe disconnect. And so universities are going to be forced to shift to have more vocational training opportunities to specialize in the needs of what the graduates are actually going to be able to use when they enter the workforce. And major corporations like Apple, IBM, and Walmart are moving away from mandating college degrees. And so colleges need to get smart or they will risk becoming obsolete. Now, please understand, don't misunderstand me. I'm a firm believer in higher education, but you need to be wise with your time and wise with your dollars and selective with how you acquire the degree that God may be calling you to achieve. Be smart, don't waste your time, and don't waste your money.